When you think of Steven Seagal, you picture Aikido, action films, and a calm, deadly stare. But what if I told you his daughter just stepped into the squared circle and absolutely destroyed her opponent? What the audience saw on her debut night was a display of brutally efficient power, a seamless and violent fusion of BJJ grappling and bone-jarring pro wrestling strength. This is the story of how Hollywood royalty became a wrestling warrior. To understand the warrior, you have to understand the bloodline. Her father, Steven Seagal, isn't just an actor. He's a legitimate 7th Dan black belt in Aikido and was the first non-Japanese person to run an Aikido dojo in Japan. His entire brand was built on a foundation of real, frightening martial arts skill. His daughter, Arissa LeBrock, inherited that fire. She has a background in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and has trained at the Paragon Jiu-Jitsu and Kickboxing Academy. But no one expected her first-ever match to make this much noise. Arissa LeBrock grew up between two worlds. Her father was the bone-crunching action hero, Steven Seagal. Her mother was the iconic supermodel and actress, Kelly LeBrock, star of classics like The Woman in Red and Weird Science. Kelly became the face of Pantene, creating a pop culture catchphrase with the line, "Don't hate me because I'm beautiful." But when this Hollywood dynasty formed, they chose a different path for their family. Kelly LeBrock famously walked away from the spotlight to raise her children on a remote ranch, far from the chaos of Hollywood, to give them a shot at a normal life. At first, Arissa seemed to be following her mother's path, launching a career as a successful plus-size model and even appearing on the Lifetime series Growing Up Supermodel in 2017. But underneath, her father's legacy was calling. She began secretly training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a grueling martial art focused on ground fighting and submission holds known as human chess. This wasn't a hobby. She competed, proving she possessed the same warrior spirit her father's legend was built on. This blend of a model's presence and a fighter's toughness made her a perfect prospect for professional wrestling. The build-up to the debut. The wrestling world had questions. Could a Hollywood daughter live up to the hype, or was this just a publicity stunt? In December 2019, the first part of the answer arrived. WWE invited Arissa for a multi-day tryout at their Elite Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. The buzz was real. She had the look, the pedigree, and the legit combat sports background. Then, it all fell apart. Shortly after the tryout, a devastating injury forced her to stop completely, crushing the dream before it could even begin. The wrestling world went quiet, and Arissa's story became a forgotten what if. For years, she disappeared, later admitting in a moment of chilling honesty, "I had become comfortable in the darkest, worst place in my life." Just when it seemed the dream was dead, the phone rang. The call was from Dustin Rhodes, the wrestling legend known to millions as Goldust and a revered coach at his Rhodes Wrestling Academy. He saw past the injury and the famous name. He saw an athlete whose story wasn't finished. He offered her a second chance. Move to Texas and train with him. That call was the lifeline she needed. She left her life behind and dedicated herself to learning the craft the hard way, earning her stripes with sweat, not a surname. The debut match. In March of 2023, after months of grueling training, the moment of truth arrived. Arissa LeBrock made her official in-ring debut at a Rhodes Wrestling Academy student showcase in Austin, Texas. This wasn't a stadium show. It was an intimate venue packed with hardcore local fans who value authenticity over hype. This is how wrestlers pay their dues. When she stepped through the ropes, she wasn't just a celebrity's daughter anymore. From the opening bell, it was clear this was no gimmick. She showcased a brutally efficient and powerful style, seamlessly blending her BJJ grappling with hard-hitting professional wrestling. She wasn't just performing, she was fighting. She won her debut match, leaving a powerful impression of a new force to be reckoned with. Her coach, Dustin Rhodes, had predicted it. In an interview on the Sports Guys Talking Wrestling podcast, he praised her work ethic, saying, "She's doing a great job, but this is only the beginning for her." Pretty soon the whole world's going to be talking about Arissa LeBrock. That night was the first taste of what he meant. That debut sent a ripple through the wrestling community. The conversation shifted from Steven Seagal's daughter to Arissa LeBrock, the wrestler. Her journey puts her among the ranks of other second- and third-generation stars who face the most intense pressure, like Cody Rhodes, Charlotte Flair, and The Rock's daughter Ava. But Arissa's background is entirely unique. She carries the marketability of Hollywood royalty combined with the credibility of a legitimate combat athlete. This combination makes her one of the most fascinating prospects to emerge in years. What's next? If her debut was this explosive, the wrestling world better get ready for a storm. The story is just beginning. She has laid a foundation built on her own resilience, turning a career-threatening injury into a character-defining moment. The question is no longer if she belongs, but how high she will climb. Will her journey eventually lead her back to the global stage of WWE to finish what she started? Or will she join her mentor, Dustin Rhodes, in All Elite Wrestling and unleash her powerful style on their women's division? The path that began with crushing disappointment has transformed into one of the most compelling comeback stories in recent memory. She has proven that a famous name isn't a free pass, it's a heavier burden. This is just the beginning. And if the Seagal family history tells us anything, the best fights are yet to come. What did you think of her debut? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more wrestling stories.